Hi patrons, I hope that you are doing well. Welcome to the Tarot and Numerology series. In this series, we're going to talk about the connection between tarot and numerology and how they can work together. Whether you're giving a reading for yourself or someone else, it's really cool how they're intertwined. And it's been helpful for me as someone who studies numerology and also is a tarot reader. It's helpful. I'm not a numerologist, disclaimer. And I definitely will provide some numerologists below if you want to get more in-depth, specific information as well. I just use numerology to support my tarot practice, and it works really well. So I thought I would do a whole series about it. And today we're going to start with the aces, which is number 1 in the tarot, and how we can use numbers to help us. It's almost like puzzle pieces in a way. And it can be that way with tarot and astrology as well. And I will do another series with tarot and astrology. So we're going to start out with talking about the number 1 in numerology, just a brief description of the number 1 and the energy that it carries in numerology. It's the number of leadership, the number of innovative ideas, the number of moving forward, becoming an individual, standing out from the crowd, and going at it alone if need be. So it's a very powerful number. It's about creativity and expression and making your identity known. So it's a very, powerful number, and it also signifies new beginnings, as you will see in tarot. So the major arcana card that is associated with the number 1 and is the leader of all the aces, so to speak, in tarot would be none other than the magician. The magician. So we see the number 1 here, as we know that there's always numbers on the tarot. So we see that numerology is working with tarot. They're working in tandem here, especially on the major arcana cards, and they can kind of give us clues. So with this, the magician, we know that it is a number of putting, the card of putting yourself out there with that number 1. It's the beginning, it's the creation of something. And it is a very action-oriented card and number. The magician is all about creating something new, using all of the elements that you have to create something, to create some substantial change. It's definitely a card about not sitting around. It's time to act. This is really big for people who are entrepreneurs, salespeople, creatives, who really want to put themselves out there or need to put themselves out there with that number 1, helping them move forward, knowing that it is the beginning of a new creation, a very powerful kind of energy with the magician. So this number 1 can let us know that it's time to move forward. It's time to create something new. Something might have ended while you're doing a reading with this card. And when you get the magician, it's like, okay, it's time for a new beginning. Of course, we have the Fool, and I will go into the number 0 as well. But for this particular video, we're focused on the number 1. And so this is definitely, it's time to start. It's definitely kind of an extroverted energy with the number 1 and this magician card as well. So I'm going to go down the other aces. So we have the magician that signifies all the other aces in the deck. So we're going to start with the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the beginning. So this is the beginning of maybe a new job, the beginning of a new set of values or systems that are being put in place, the beginning of maybe purchasing a property of some sort. It's the beginning of creating something tangible, whether it's in assets, or it could be in your value system, or creating something, a new way of being and embodying your belief system, right? So this is definitely indicating something new. So if you were to do a reading, let's say even on a literal level about a new job, and this pops up, this is usually a good indicator that a new job or a new kind of business venture is on the horizon. So all things new. And when you get like multiple aces in a reading, that's a really good sign that it's a big transformation coming in terms of creating something and walking into a new beginning. So, when you get the Ace of Pentacles, it's like a new nice coin, honey. Next, we have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups, which is such a beautiful card as well. It's a card that indicates a healing, whether it's yourself, or whether it's working in the healing arts or working in the capacity of healing, or if it's a love reading or even a platonic reading, the beginning of a really beautiful relationship, a beautiful connection. So this is the beginning of some sort of emotional kind of connection here, the beginning of an opportunity to feel something differently, to connect emotionally with whether it's yourself or someone else. We have the dove here signifying the peace, and then the wafer here. And so the cup is spilling over here into this pond of lotus flowers as well. So it's definitely the beginning of something new emotionally here, signifying something that is brewing here. If you get this in a relationship reading, this is usually a good indicator of this beginning of something creating a new relationship that's beautiful and that can be really deeply felt, a really deep connection. Next, we have the Ace of Swords, number 1. So the beginning of a new form of clarity, perhaps with the swords. Our swords are the cognitive areas, our thoughts, our words, the way that we communicate. So when we see the Ace of Swords, it's the beginning of something becoming more clear. It's almost, and we have a crown here as if something is being conquered, or like a victory is being achieved here, because it's almost like a light bulb might go off. It's an aha moment, or if you've been feeling stuck on something and the Ace of Swords comes out upright, it's like, oh, there's some clarity here. Like, oh, this new idea is becoming so clear, or this new way of moving forward or strategizing is becoming clear, or I'm finding a new way to create something that I was stuck on, whether it's an idea, a project. Now I'm feeling more clear mentally. Now I'm feeling more clear how I communicate, because it's just the beginning of some sort of clarity when it comes to the way that one is expressing themselves, or the way that we're sharing ideas. So this could be a really great indicator of, yes, something is, after, it could be a relief too, a sense of relief after something has been really difficult or hard. This is the beginning, number 1, of a new idea, a new strategy forward. And lastly, we have the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Wands. So when we get the Ace of Wands, wands being our passions, or the way that we pursue our actions, the way that we go forward through with things. When we get the Ace of Wands, this could indicate a new job or a new project or new opportunity that is passion-led, that really lights you up. Like, whereas the Ace of Pentacles can represent a new job as well, like something tangible, right? But this is, with the Ace of Wands, it's definitely infused more with your passion and what lights you up. So it's like beginning to go forward. In some cases, sometimes it depends on the reading. Ace of Wands can represent pregnancy in some cases as well. Let's say if it's next to the Empress for some reason, because the Empress is about fertility as well. It can represent some sort of pregnancy or birthing, whether it's literal or a new project, a new idea, a new concept. But this is definitely a green light, like if you've been thinking about doing a project or starting something new, this is definitely your go, your green light when it comes to beginning something new and going after your passion and beginning anew and starting a new cycle with that. Yes. So this wraps up our aces, or the number 1 in tarot and numerology, and the connection. I hope that it was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below in the Patreon chat. And I also wanted to recommend some books that might support with numerology. This one is The Ultimate Guide to Practical Numerology by Felicia. And this is more about your life path numbers, but it mentions all the numbers 1 through 9 and how it can help numerology. Your life path number can help you map out and shape your trajectory, or it can help you, working with the energy of numbers, if that's what you're into. And also, The Numbers in You by Llyod Strayhorn is another good book. So I'll put both of those books down below, and the information for those numerologists. Yeah, so I will see you in the next video for the number 2, and I will talk to y'all later. Thank you for your support. Bye.